Welcome to another segment of Handy Andy on Bethel Park TV cable. Today we're going to be talking about storage of your Christmas decorations, your holiday decorations. Whether it's any of these new little clips, whether it's the big extension cord reels, the one thing to realize when you're storing your Christmas decorations, a little bit of time, a little bit of effort you take now for storage is going to make a big difference come next November, next Thanksgiving, when you're pulling everything back out of the attic, and instead of throwing it away because it's all tangled, it's all knotted, all the bulbs are broken, smashed, missing, now's the time to take a couple minutes, store it properly, store it correctly, store it neatly, and you're going to be a lot happier next year when it comes time to pull them back out of the attic and, start decorating all over again. I want to start with the different tote boxes. As you can see, there's quite a variety of tote boxes, from clear totes that you can see in. Some of them have green lids, or you get solid color totes on it. The big thing with storing totes is to pick the right size, the size that you can physically pick up and handle when it's full of merchandise. A lot of people store their products up in the attic, so you're climbing 2, sometimes 3 flights of stair with these. And if you get the super storage lockers, they are so big, they're so cumbersome, they don't fit up the stairs, they don't fit up into the attic, plus they're so heavy, you can't even lift them. So, and the other thing is they're so full, the stuff on the bottom gets so compacted, they're just broken by the time you do it. So I pretty much like these size of tote boxes, and I like the locking lids. There's all different types of locking lids and so forth with them. There's ones like these, there's ones that the lids just flip over. That way you're not losing the lids itself on it. So pick a box that you like. But when you're storing for the holiday, storing for Christmas, try and pick something that's a different color, so you're not confusing it with Halloween, or you're not confusing it with Easter or spring or something. You're doing it just for the season. So when you're up there, you're in a hurry to get everything down, you know that you're just looking at the green top boxes, or you're just looking for the reds. Or if you do have the clear boxes, then you could actually see what is in the boxes and know that you're bringing the right ones down or putting the right ones back up again. So picking the right storage box, it's going to be an important part of doing it. Now, some of the other stuff that I have here that I brought today, these are actually all different types of storage mechanisms, storage clips for lights, for cords. And like I was saying, keeping things neat and tidy is a big help. Say you're doing some of your very big, a lot of people have these super long extension cords. This is a cord type of strap, so if you're using these and then hanging them on a wall, this type of cord strap is going to work a lot nicer, a lot easier for you, because not only will it hold it, not only will it lock in, but whether you have a hook up top here, or there's another one, if there's just a pegboard hole, or there's just a nail or something in there, this is going to keep the cords dangling, it's going to keep them hanging straight, and it's going to keep it nice and snug. Now, if you're of the type that you're just throwing these into storage bins or storage boxes, you might want something like I have on the other side. On this type of storage hook, it's a lot smaller, it keeps it a lot tighter, where on this end, this will come loose if it's not on the right tension on it. So on something like these you can lock them in tighter, or you can release it so that it's made for multiple different size cords. They're very easy, very simple to put on and put off. It's a spring-loaded type of hook, but in using it, they lock nice and quickly, and you can adjust the tension on it. So if you want something super tight around the cord, or something a little looser, or if you have a large cord or a small cord, these type of, I call it a cable wrap. These type of cable wraps are going to do very, very nicely, and plus they have a carrying handle. So after you get them wrapped up, you're not just slinging them all over your arm, over your shoulder or something. You could actually put 2 or 3 in your hand, because with these you can hold multiple on them. As long as they're not too heavy for you, this is a nice way of keeping the cords tight. A shorter cord, a smaller cord, same type of thing. This is just a different brand of the cable lock on it. It just has a different type of handle, but same kind of mechanism. You can make them, lock them nice and tight. It has a nice, very quick, very easy release button. So it locks it, it releases it. And a lot of people are used to just using those cable ties. Those cable ties are nice, but they're a one-time throw-them-out use. So on a cable tie, you zip them, you lock them in, but then to get it off, you're cutting it, and then what happens is you end up nicking or cutting the cord on it. So that's why I like these kind of cord wraps. And once again, this has a handle and so forth on it. And you don't have to just use these for extension cords. You could use them for Christmas lights. So whether it's a smaller one, I got a real nice tiny little cable wrap here. Same type deal. It's just it's a super small, super sized one. So if you just have a small set, whether it's these are LED or anything else on them, the cable, you just curl them up and this will lock them nice and neatly into place on it. And you could get one for each of them. So there's big ones, there's little ones, there's small ones, there's all sizes on them for whether there's the 200, 300 string light. This one is only a 50 light string set, so that's why I was trying to go with a little smaller and keep them nice and neat. I try not to bundle too many together because then they end up getting tangled. And with this keeps it nice and neat. I try and cord them to a way that the male and female plugs and everything are right there, and it just keeps them from getting tangled up. Another type of wrap systems are these reels. These reels, you can use them on cords, you can use them on light sets. One of the things I do like with these, especially with extension cords, they have a nice grip handle on it, then they have a nice turn knob. So you can sit there and you can just hold on to it, and then the reel itself will turn. So whether you're taking the cord out and unwrapping it, or you're doing it and wrapping it back up, these type of cord reels are very nice for keeping things from getting tangled. So whether you use these on extension cords or you, once again, can use these on Christmas lights. So if you have the longer reel types, the longer types of lights, maybe these little clips are nice for the short reels, but for the bigger ones, you may want to consider using these because on the same thing, you could take it and you can just roll the whole reel of lights out, and then at the end of the season, you're just curling them back up and keeping them from getting tangled or tightened up in. The one little trick you want to remember though is depending on which way you like to do, if you're starting at the plug end is the last part on. If you're adding on to it, you'd want to leave the female end of the cord out. So come next year when you go to unravel these, you're starting with the way that you normally like to decorate. You don't want to have to pull the whole reel off just to get it into the one end. Take a little bit of time, think about it, and know which way you want to wrap the cords so you know which way you want to unwrap the cords. Where on stuff like these, you don't have to worry about because you're unlocking them and you're just unreeling the whole reel of lights, and you don't have to decide male or female end on them. The last type of cord wraps, these are just a plastic cord organizer, I call them. You can use them on extension cords, or you can use them on Christmas lights just like we're shown here. And once again, we started and we held them with the female end of the cord that came off of the bush, and then we'll just sit there and you just physically, there's no reel system on it, it's just doing it by hand. Then you're just wrapping them up, knowing which end you have at the end, and then locking it in somewhere so it doesn't come back apart on you. Nice little carrying handle, nice convenient. If a lot of times in a tote box, what I'll do is I do have a bunch of these different reels, and they sit very nicely, flatly right in there. So I'll have one tote. We have probably 15, 20 different sets of lights, and I'll have one tote that'll just have all of my light sets stored in them, and they're on those different cord reels. I like that cord organizer because it's a little smaller when I'm storing them in totes. I generally put our extension cords on these big reels because these are stacked down in the garage. These are extension cords and I use them year round for other things. But with the Christmas lights, I'm stacking them into totes and I'm storing them because I don't need to use them anymore or until the next year. I do have some of the cable organizers, but they're generally used for my smaller strings of lights because it's too much of a wasted space to put them onto the big reels. So I'll use the little handy cord organizers just to lock them all into place. Last thing I want to show you for Christmas organizing is there's wreath storage bags. On a wreath storage bag, these are very nice, heavy canvas, and it has a rubber coating inside. So even if it would get too much moisture, the moisture isn't going to soak through these bags. But these wreath organizer bags, you can get these in a multiple sizes. This is a 30-inch bag. We also have like 24-inch bags, so if you have small wreaths, big wreaths. But these are real nice for putting a wreath in each one, and then you're just zipping them up and storing them up. A lot of people try and just put a little bit of shrink wrap or a garbage bag or something on it, but then they don't have the zipper, they don't hold out the moisture. These type of storage bags are marvelous for holding all the wreaths. My wife loves wreaths. We use wreaths year round, and she has them different color coded. So we'll have the red ones for Christmas, and we generally have some white ones for Easter, or some different colors for different reasons. You know, we have some black and gold ones for all the Steeler decorations or Penguin or Pirate decorations. We're a big wreath family, so I have lots and lots of wreath bags that are in our attic, but we know which colors are for which ones, and she'll just send me up and go get all the wreaths that are in the red bags or the black bags or the green bags, so we know which wreaths are for each individual one. Last thing are tree storage bags. These are very large. This bag is for actually a 9-foot artificial tree. There's also shorter ones for 6-foot trees, 7-foot trees. But once again, these are very heavy material. They do have the coating inside, so the moisture doesn't get them into them. They have a good heavy zipper on them. But with these being so large, so tall, they're great for holding artificial trees. You know that box that you got the tree, and how many people are going to be able to get that tree back into the box? And if they do get it back into the box is falling apart. You have rolls of duct tape holding it all together again. How much easier would it be and simpler and safer for the tree to just put the tree into the proper tree storage bag size? And whether you take the couple sections apart or you're just taking the bottom off so it fits in, if you buy the right bag, a lot of times you don't have to dismantle the tree. You don't have to take the lights off the tree. You just pull the stand off, put the tree in a bag, and away you go. On this big one, this one is nice because it actually even have wheels on it, and it has a handle on the top of the bag. So as you're moving the tree around, you just put it in the bag, you zip it up, and you can roll it down into the basement, into the furnace room, up into the attic. It makes it a lot easier to handle and move around because it's in a nice, neat, simple storage bag for it. So I'm a big advocate of organizing, keeping things nice and neat. If you keep things nice and neat and organized, whether they're with little clips, big clips for the Christmas decorating season, this makes it so much easier come next year when you pull everything apart. You know what tote is going to have all your light sets in. You know which tote is going to have all your extension cords in. You know where the cords are going to be. You know how the light sets are going to be. And you know they're all going to work again on it because they're not all jumbled together. You don't have to spend 2-3 hours just untying them. You don't have to be trying all the bulbs. You know, you're out there, you want to get it decorated and move on to the next project. So take a little bit of time now in January, pick a warm day, a warm weekend, get things wrapped up, get your cords wrapped up properly, and you're going to have a lot nicer time next year when you go to decorate again. Appreciate you watching. Once again, my name is Andy Amrine from EV True Value Hardware. I love doing these segments for you on BPTV, and I'll see you again soon on the next Handy Andy segment. Thank you.